All right, welcome back, everybody. We are starting a brand new season with the Dallas Cowboys. 2027. Uh, we are at preseason week 4, about to jump into the new season. But what I wanted to do was show you what our lineup looks like, what we're taking in to the new season. So, as you can see, our team still has Lance as our quarterback. He won the quarterback battle in preseason. Um, we can see that we have a rookie. We decided to take Cooper, Cassius Cooper, um, in the third round, I believe. And one of the things, yeah, we drafted him third round, pick 21, um, that we had gotten in a trade. And we picked him up because he was just sitting there. He was one of those quarterbacks that just kept falling and falling. And of course, he's 78 overall, which is still pretty decent for a rookie quarterback. Um, with all the boosts, he's up boosted by 2. That kind of makes Peterson expendable, right? And it kind of puts us in a position where we have someone that might be able to take over for Lance, right? He has a stronger arm than Lance, so that's another thing. He's not as mobile, not as fast. He's mobile, but just not as mobile. All right, so for our offensive line, we're looking at Guyton, Smith, Beebe. We brought in Babineau in a trade. I believe we got him in a trade in the offseason, and Portillo, right? So Babineau is replacing Martin. And then our backups are the rookie, Barkley. We got lucky on that one. He is a hidden dev trait, but he's only 72 overall. We'll see how that impacts him. And then, so we have 2 Barkleys. That is very interesting. Okay. And then we have Nathan Thomas, uh, draft pick from a couple of seasons ago from the 2024 draft. Gibson is our backup. I believe we also got him in a trade. Then you have Thomas, and Bass is injured. That's why Thomas is right there right now. And then Barkley is on the other side. So we got P. Barkley and Matt Barkley backing up our, and we got Barkley in a trade. So yes. And then we have Ferguson. And then somehow, and then I couldn't refuse the trade. I just couldn't. Um, Even though he's only 82, and then he's being boosted. He's 81 overall. I think when we got him, he was a 79. So we've been boosting him in preseason, and just couldn't say no to this trade. But we got him in a trade in the offseason. Not sure why any team's giving up an X Factor, but don't let the X Factor fool you. He's still kind of low with his overall, so there's not like a lot of things he's got going for him. The key thing is he's a grab and smash, but really just bulldozer and reach for it are the abilities that he has. So he's got to still, we got to work on him. But he's young, and if we play our cards right, maybe he will be the heir apparent or he'll eventually take over for Ferguson. So our receivers, and in the trade, one of the trades that we did do was Wilbon, right? He was our X Factor second receiver, receiver 2. I said, you know what? We can get some value out of him. And we did. And I believe we got Babineau in exchange for Wilbon. So we traded a X Factor wide receiver, picked up Babineau, who was pretty, a star right guard, knowing that we needed to replace Martin this year. And I just didn't trust the rookie class coming in. So we got Babineau and a couple other picks, right? That allowed us to go out and, like I said, basically spend an extra third that we had on Cooper. He was sitting there, and we were like, you know what? He's fallen far enough. Let's go ahead and give him a try, right? So Dixon is back, Ross is back, and then Townsend, I believe, is the rookie draft choice that we picked up. Let's just double check that real quick here. Yep, he is a rookie. Let's see, just let's make sure we picked him up and not just um yep, seventh round rookie, seventh round draft pick. Just sitting there, and we just said, hey, we'll take a flyer, and turns out he's not bad, right? 74 overall, really, but good enough. So we are trusting Lamb, right? Um, Franklin, he was our slot receiver last year. Probably still going to be in the slot when needed, unless we got Lamb in the slot again. I can't remember. And then Flournoy. Flournoy, this is your chance, bro. You're gonna, you're our number three, and then Morrison is bringing up at number four. So we're letting some of these guys. I think we got this guy. Let's just look at him. He is a second. He's third year. Um, yeah. So do we just pick him up? I think we just got him, and I don't know that I've made up my mind what I wanted to do with him. Right. So he's just sitting there right now because I don't know that I've decided fully. Ooh, ooh, look at the speed and acceleration on him. He's got good catch. Um, oh my goodness. Look at the kick return. Look at the kick return there. Okay, wait. He's got aggressive run after catch, fight for yards, high motor. Okay, okay. Um, okay. We may have found our. As a matter of fact, I hate to do this to you guys, these guys, but there we go. That's our top three right there, right? And one of these guys are going in a slot, and then one of these guys is our probably going to be our new kick returner. Okay, defensively, this is what we're looking at. So Nealon's back. This guy is a beast. All right, so he's at 80 overall now. When we drafted him, I think we drafted him at like 78, right? And look at him, 6'6", 350. 6'6", 350, rookie out of UCF. We got him 10th pick in the second round. He was still sitting there in the second round. We said, no, no, we're not going any further. We're taking this guy. This guy is a beast. And so where we have it is this. So we got Mozzie, we got Gibson, right? And then Gibson has basically displaced Briggs, right? Briggs was up and coming, and he's still up and coming, right? So we got our one, two, three, and then we got Osa, right? Osa is not our he's not what we want as our I'm trying to think of the words. As our base defensive tackle. These three are, right? So this is our rotation at defensive tackle in base, right? And in McDonald's, we have put McDonald in at right end, right? He's a superstar, right? That's because he was defensive rookie of the year last year, right? So he is at right end, Nealon's at left. Robertson is another one that we picked up in the offseason, and I believe we actually signed him in free agency. I could be wrong on that one. Let's just see. I don't think it'll tell us. He was with the Jets. Did we trade the Jets for it? That he was a first round draft pick in 25 with for the Jets. So we got him from the Jets somehow. All right, we might have traded for him, right? And if that's the case, it would have been we might have traded Carson. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So I know what you're gonna say, right? So we got superstar X Factor Diggs over here just killing it, right? And then we got Williams over here, superstar. And then we got Preston, superstar. Holy cow. Yes. You know what it is? It's because we are, if anything, I am extremely predictable when it comes to the draft. Why do I say that? Because look at our number one draft choice. He was just sitting there. I was not going past him. He was 79 overall, I think. Um 79 overall. He's hidden dev trait, right? And then we picked him up. Yeah, 31st pick in the first round. Just sitting there. And then it we our draft grade on that was a B plus. They said he was possibly his talent was number 10 overall, and we got him at 31, but it was still a B plus, right? Which I'm like, well, should that have been an A? But they said B plus. And then, but then again, when we got Gibson was a B plus as B as well, right? So yeah. I mean, if there's a DB, and then maybe that's what we are, right? If there's a DB in the first round, or that's got first round talent, we're not passing them up. I'm sorry. Why is that? Because, and then here's the other thing about him, right? Another 6'3" guy. Trust me, I it's not lost on me, right? It is not lost on me that three of our top four DBs, right, are all 6'3". That each one. Williams is 6'3". Preston is 6'3". Favors is 6'3". It's like, you know what? You're who's going to be in the slot handling the small guys, the quick, fast twitch guys? I hate to say it, but maybe Diggs. Maybe Diggs gets put in the slot while these two take care of the boundaries, and then Favors. We see what happens with him, right? Better prepared than not prepared. But then look at this. So Wallace, after the season he had last year, and then just crazy numbers that he's been putting up, he's taken over. I moved him into the middle. He's X Factor, which is crazy to me. Um, McFadden is still backing him up, and then I think we went uh three deep this time around at middle linebacker. We decided to go three deep because I just rushing was a hidden depth trait guy, and I didn't want to put him on the practice squad. He hasn't beaten out Barnett or Thomas, who are or McFadden. McFadden has got contract. So McFadden's on the team. So I was like, I don't want to put him on the practice squad because somebody will take him. And I kind of feel like he has a future, right? Especially once McFadden's contract gets to the point where we can move on from him, right? He's a great backup, but that's what he is. He's our backup guy. Parsons, I moved out to left outside linebacker, right? But that's only in base, and we'll see that, right? So then we got Bell and Green, right? This is incorrect, and I'll have to fix that. But Preston is not, right? So we'll probably put Cross here, and then over here on the other side, what I like to do is put the second um, safety from the other side in. So Green will go right here. But, we got Melifonwu still, right? He's only 80 overall, and then we got Bell. They're only 83 overall, but they're both star. And then hey, Clark played well, right? And then what we're going to be looking at is Wallace and Clark in our nickel, right? So special teams real quick. So granted, this is going to change. It's going to change because obviously I just picked up the wide receiver there and haven't had a chance to really move him in anywhere, right? And I hadn't had a good chance, so I must have picked him up in either a trade and I just can't remember. But yeah, and then here's our specialist, right? So our rush left in is going to be Parson, backed up by Nealon, right? So you can see Nealon's kind of taking a little bit of a demotion, right? Because our rush defensive tackles are still Mozzie and Odigi, Zua, and Briggs. But I got to be honest with you, Gibson, 6'6", 350. He doesn't have the speed. He's only like a 66 or 67 speed guy, right? So he was faster, and that's another guy that we traded. We traded a couple of our defensive tackles. We moved on. So uh, one guy that we let go, he was only 61 speed, even though he was starting to come on and do well last year. And we were actually grooming him and really, giving him the reps in our weekly training. So he was getting better and improving as the season went on, and I was starting to trust him more. But we're only carrying four tackles, and right, so these are three of them, and then Gibson is the fourth. McDonald. Every time we got a chance to put him in, he went in and he just shined. This guy is quick as all get up, right? And it's like, yeah, you're the rush right in, right? So in base, you're the right in, and in nickel, you're the right in. And then, like I said, he moves from left outside linebacker to the rush left in. Wallace is he's our middle, then Clark, and then Thomas. Thomas moves up into that role that Leofau. Leofau, we did trade. We didn't cut him. We traded him, and that's probably how we got that wide receiver. As a matter of fact, that is how we got that wide receiver. Traded Leofau and picked up the receiver. And I think we actually had to give up an extra fourth or fifth round pick as well. So, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Leofau was good, but Leofau had gotten relegated to just left outside linebacker and base defense, right? But since now we're moving Parsons to left outside linebacker in the base, right, to really fit Zimmer's scheme, right, the scheme that they're running now, um, that's the way we went with it. And then Preston, he was our slot corner last year. He's still in the slot with Favors backing him up, and then Burks, right? And Burks was a pick from last year's draft that just he's good, but you know what I mean. You find two good corners, and this one was the first pick. This was the second pick, and look at what this one turned out to be. He was hidden dev. Burks, I don't believe he was hidden dev. So, and then if he was, he didn't play enough to keep the dev trait. So, right? Everybody can't be star or superstar, right? Even though it seems like on this team there's quite a few. Very much. Robertson, we don't know what's going to happen with Robertson. He's star now, but he's not going to play enough that he's really. So I don't anticipate him still being a star. And then he might be trade bait at some point. Um, but right now he's our backup, right? And in truth, if I'm playing this right, I might move Robertson up. Let Nealon cover the right side, and but right now the way I like it is if one of these goes out, Nealon can cover, and then Robertson is the backup, right? And then again, um, our not third down back, but our third down back is going to be Rose, and Townsend is backing him up. I don't know who Hatchet is. Oh, well, we might have to look at Hatchet. He's a little undersized, but and I believe we just signed him like off. He just yeah, just he was sitting there, and we're like, do we want to let that go? And yeah, because look at the speed, the acceleration, and if I'm not mistaken, he had some kick return ability to him. So when we what we do is when we're trying to fill out the practice squad, right? We look and look. John's ended up on the practice squad this year, right? Because of the Barkley that we ended up getting Barkley in a trade. So what's going to happen? More than likely, we're going to end up losing him. Uh, and then Darby. Darby is another guy that we picked up. I fully anticipate that we're probably going to lose him, right? I'm not locking down the practice squad, so we're going to lose probably a few people here. McCullers, Wayne's gone, right? I couldn't trade him, and I did. I did try to trade him, but no one. I had no takers, and that's the other thing, right? When you go in and you want to look and you want to say, hey, and I have to sign him from the practice squad in order to trade him. But you can go in and then you try to trade away, and you don't get any takers. And I wasn't going to force a trade, right? I was just like, look and see if I got any offers. If I got an offer, I'd entertain it and look at it. No offers. So a lot of these guys right now, we went in, found in the just basically you can go in and look for, practice squad eligible guys and look at them and say, okay, yeah, we'll fill these guys in. But even though they were available right now, at some point somebody's going to need a quarterback, and Wayne's gone. Somebody's going to need a this guy is going to be gone. Goodwell is going to be gone. Johns is going to be gone. I predict that Johns will probably be the first one gone, then Goodwell, and we'll probably end up losing Walford as well, right? And then if somebody gets real desperate, they may need a backup and take Rhodes from us, right? So I predict we're going to lose our linemen. Um, Darby, I believe we're gonna lose, right? And Ross, no. But Wayne, so the first guy, it's all a question. Who's gonna be the first to go? I'm thinking Johns, then Wayne, right? And we'll see. We'll see. Even though nobody's willing to trade for him, it's I don't doubt that they're like, well, hey, we'll take him for free off your practice squad. So there it is. And so be it. So be it. That's where we at. So that is our team. That is what we're taking into the season. Yeah. There's a lot of I like this. There's a lot of star, there's a lot of superstar, there's a few X factors, and it's nice. Okay, so we're in to the season, week 1. All right, we have to do a few things here. One, set our season goal. Goal is make the playoffs. To me, that's always the safest goal. right? Second thing, and then real quick here, let's see. I told you we're gonna lose. We lost Julius Darby. We lost Walford. I was surprised. And we lost Ross. All right. So Commanders have signed Mitch Ross. Okay. The Jaguars have signed Dom Walford. Right. He's the right guard that we had on. He might have been left guard, but he was a guard, 70 overall. And then the Eagles have signed Julius Darby. We knew we were going to lose Darby. I anticipated Wayne and Johns to go before these guys, and they did not, which is interesting. So we have 3 spots open, and then somebody's offering a trade for Flournoy. 71 overall, Teddy Scarborough. I can't do it. I can't do it. Reason I can't do it is, as tempting as that is, one, I can't counter this, and I wish you could, right? It's kind of like it's available when we are actually seeking a trade, but not when they are seeking a trade from us. And it's like, well, in the real world, in real life, you have the ability to counter. You always have the ability to counter. Why not make it so here? So we won't accept that. What I like to do is decline all offers. Okay. So what we do need to do is choose a draft class. Now, this draft class, I went into the options here, and this draft class, hopefully you have a good quarterback, right? Weak on quarterback. It's going to be strong for both running backs and receivers, right? And then the interior offensive line, I decided I'm going to make very strong, right? You know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to counter that. I need one more. I got a very weak punter group, which is kind of uh, bush league way of getting out of it. And then I'm also going to weak interior defensive line, right? So I got 3.5 weeks and 3 strongs, right? 4 strongs, right? So it's close enough. It's close enough. You know what we're gonna do? We're also gonna make that week. Yeah. Okay. So the defensive side is not gonna be a very good draft for defense. Offensive side, it's a somewhat good draft. The quarterbacks and the tackles are gonna be weak, but you're gonna have a strong receiver class and a strong running back class and a very strong interior offensive line class. Strong defensive end class this year, this draft. Then normal for your linebackers and your safeties, but weak on corners and weak on interior defensive line. So, because you gotta counter the good with the bad, right? And then so when we say choose the draft class, we're just gonna keep the generated one. And so now when we look at it, and then I'll come over here, and this should, yeah, be the way it should be. We can see right at the top, right? We got 2 quarterbacks, which is nice. We got a couple of tackles, right? And it's a strong class for tackles. In defensive tackle there, 6'4", 309. Another quarterback, offensive tackle, and then look at this. So we said a strong class for quarterbacks. So right now, they're saying there's a ton of. Did I say weak? I said weak, didn't I? Yeah. It's a weak class for quarterbacks. And right now, though, there's a ton first rounders up here. So I'll have to take a look at that real quick and see what's going on there. Quarterbacks should be a weak class, and then running backs should be very strong. And then again, this is just preliminary. And This is our class. Now, why there are so many quarterbacks right now listed, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why there's so many up there. That is crazy. I've not seen it like that before, right? Let's look at this guy real quick. Look, he is slated Jake Patterson. Hey, we just got rid of a Randy Patterson, right? Everything's locked. Yep, we don't know anything about this guy at all. He's a scrambler, 6'3", 233 out of Penn State. Well, that wins me over right there, Penn State, right? And then Andy Cannon, well, right now, right, we already know beautiful spiral on all his passes. Could use some improvement at recognizing pressure. Does well to avoid sacks by throwing the ball away. Plays well within and outside of the pocket. Fast flick of the wrist throwing motion. Okay, out of Mississippi State. Not bad. Field general archetype. So yeah. Um, and then Demarius Favors. So they're starting to reuse a lot of these names again, right? There's where uh, but I mean you have a database of names and you only have but so many, right? Um so we'll see. We'll see what this really how this turns out, but that is our class. So we have them. I'll come back and take care of my scouts. And then right now, just looking at them, I don't know that I need to. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. See, now these is saying you're in trouble, right? Middle linebacker, middle linebacker. Defensive tackle, that's a good one. Corner, good. Quarterback, good. Um, Part of me is like, I don't know if I want to change this, right? I don't like the idea of firing this guy just to bring on another guy. You know what I mean? I'm not about the disposable people idea, right? So it's kind of like, can I move somebody? Like this one is quarterback, right tackle, uh, and safety, and then this one corner, quarterback, and left tackle, and this guy is quarterback, defensive tackle. So I can move my defensive tackle guy over here and then bring my quarterback guy over there, right? And then just decide, even though it says the class is weak at linebacker, I might just say screw it and still take the bump and figure out because I'm always looking for linebackers, even though my team seems pretty set there. So it looks like if I go to my scouts, because I'm not going to fire these guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this scout. We're going to put him in the southeast, and then we're going to take this southeast guy and put him in the west. And I think that was the right way. Then when we go back, now we're looking, we got our quarterback, we got our defense tackle, corner, and then defense tackle. So the only one that is a concern would be this guy. And in truth, um, maybe I might move him to the southeast region. And then, nope, because I think this is the same thing. So maybe, where's my other quarter? I don't have another quarterback. We'll see. We'll see what I do, but that's one, yeah. So we'll see. And I might just leave it like that and say, okay, screw it. I don't care. You're still gonna tell me the best you can tell me about what middle linebackers are available. And then from there, we just have the media interview, and let's just get that done real quick. And then that will be our basically our preview of the 2027 season. All right, going into the season, what area of the team is the strongest? Uh, hey, it's going to be our defense. You know why? Because I picked that every time. So if the defense is stronger, what part of the offense worries you the most? Um, I'm going to say the running game. Can you be more specific? Sure. Halfback. We need our running back to be more consistent. We do. That's real life too. What should a successful season look like? Rashard Dixon ends up with 10 touchdowns. I'm going to say we rush for 1,300 yards this season. Even though I do like the 10 touchdown one too. Well, thanks. We'll check back at the end of the season. So guys, we got to get 1,300 rushing yards this season. If Dixon can stay healthy, I think we can do it, right? But Rose turned out to be pretty good while Dixon was out. Um, and then there you have it. So now we are all set for the 2027 season, and let the games begin. All right, guys, appreciate you. Hopefully, remember, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time. All right, bye.